Hi everyone, we are back with my mini training on Thursdays to help you. This week is all about navigating Thanksgiving. So I know that's not till next week, but next week I probably won't have one of these. So I wanted to, since it is on Thanksgiving, I wanted to make sure that you guys felt set up and ready to be able to tackle the holiday. So I'm just gonna jump right into it today, and I'm gonna go over some things to think about first, and then give you some tips and tricks that you might find helpful for the day of, and then some just like friendly reminder or closing thoughts. Okay, just so you understand the outline for today. So first things first that you'll want to consider, this, it kind of sounds funny maybe or silly for some people, like, oh, do we really have to think about what we're going to do on Thanksgiving? Can't we just like eat? And it's like, yes, of course you can, but every person is at a different stage of their journey. So I'm just here to help those maybe just getting started or making sure that they want to feel like they're staying their course throughout the holiday season or whatever that looks like for you. I want you to go through the holidays with absolutely zero guilt, regardless of whatever your current goals are. So that being said, the first thing you should do, these are things beforehand, is decide your level of commitment with zero judgment on yourself. So regardless of what you want to do or think you should do, whatever you do decide that you want and the things you want in place, feel 100% confident in it and do not be hard on yourself about it. Don't judge yourself about it. Just decide ahead of time what you'd like to do so that it makes it easier when the day comes around. The next thing you'll want to do is establish a plan you feel like you can feel confident in. And I like to think about it on a scale, like measuring system. So you should feel like 8 to 10 out of 10 that you can accomplish the task. So I say that because 10 out of 10, if I ask you to establish a plan, 10 out of 10, 100% you can do, sometimes you might not include everything that you could. So I think it's something that's worth thinking about, like making sure you still have to try and put effort in, but feel that you can do it. If you feel like you create a plan and you're like not really sure, you think like 6 out of 10 you can do it, it is not the plan for you, my friend. And I think it's better to start off with building some of your own momentum first and gaining confidence in that way. And then, over time you can adjust your plan as needed. That being said, I also think you should come up with a plan B for when your original plan doesn't work. Because luckily we are human beings, we're not robots, so we have emotions, we have uncontrollable situations and circumstances that arise at any given time. And I like to say jokingly, but like life likes to throw itself at you just when you think you're crushing it. So to be prepared, why not have that backup plan in place? So for example, what this might look like is if someone has the goal to continue macro tracking throughout the holidays, they might want to make up a backup plan for only hitting their protein and total calorie target goals. So for example, if you have that goal to log everything 100% and be spot on, that's great. Now, if say you end up having to go to someone else's house that you didn't originally plan to, and they're serving something different than you thought you were going to eat, it might be in your best interest to revert to that plan B, focus on hitting your protein target and staying within your total calories. And then you can kind of still feel like you're on the track that whatever you laid out for yourself at the beginning of all this. So I think that it's just good to have those in place so that you don't feel like you went from giving 100% to 0, because those backup plans can keep you at like 70, 40, 20% effort, and that is still way bigger than 0, right? And last but not least, I think you should definitely enjoy being fully present with your family and friends. So again, just forward thinking and getting some of these decisions made ahead of time can allow you a lot of mental clarity and space in your head and your mindset to be present and enjoy those moments and make those memories and remember them forever, right? So, and we all know how valuable those things are and human connection is to your health. So make sure you take the time to do that too, okay? So switching gears to some tips and tricks that you might find helpful. Again, depending on your goals, you might not have to do any of these, but I think these are things that like I wish someone would have told me a long time ago, and ways to kind of navigate different situations of if you aren't the host, and or maybe you are, but again, you might not be doing what you do on a normal given day because it is a special day. So here are some tips and tricks to help you with that. So number one, scan the room. Okay, so when you're there, you're getting ready to eat, see what's available first so you can start strategizing in your head. And I think it's easy through like a buffet style, or when people are just passing it along, it's easy to just like take everything and a lot of it because you don't know what's coming next. Whereas if you actually just take a moment to see the entirety of what's being offered, then you can make a better, well thought out plan. That being said, that can also be helpful for my tip number 2, which is to follow the plate method. So if you're not familiar with what that is, it's recommendations of portion sizes by using your plate. I can also, as I was planning for this, I think I might want to do a mini training on that if you're not aware of it. It's also a big focus on our monthly intention this month with TTT Nutrition. So there is a post on it at nutrition.ttt on Instagram as well if you're unsure. And I can see if I can, there's definitely like a precision nutrition resource that I can drop in the comments as well if you're unfamiliar. The next is waiting like 7 to 10 minutes after you finish your plate before deciding if you need seconds. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with going for seconds, and you might need to based on your dietary intake right now. But I think it's important to give your brain a second to catch up with your stomach and assess if you're still hungry. The good thing is, a lot of the times you're engaging in conversation and you're at a table gathered with friends and family, and hopefully, if you wait, 5 to 10 minutes after your plate is empty, you can keep busy with engaging and talking, and you won't look like an outlier not eating at the moment. But then it'll just give you a second to assess, like, am I really hungry? Or, I put a decent enough amount of veggies on my plate the first time, but I didn't realize there was another protein option, and maybe you need to bump up your protein, so you go and get it for the second plate, and that's totally warranted. So if you are truly hungry after that time, please go get more. But that is just a really helpful tip to help you stay present in your meal, because also we tend to have like a lot of foods available on Thanksgiving that we don't normally eat. So a lot of people, if they've been restricted of those foods all year, will want to kind of overindulge. So just giving yourself a second and slowing down can be super, super helpful in that way. My next tip is to bring a dish to pass. This is actually one of my favorite ones in all gatherings, parties, birthdays, etc. It sounds really funny, but because you're doing this gift to help the event, right? Bringing a dish to pass, offering maybe one of your favorite things you like to make. But I also like to make that dish to pass something that you think is going to be lacking at that event. For example, for a complete meal, if you feel like veggies or lean protein is going to be hard to get, which are 2 of the biggest culprits missing, then for your dish to pass to bring either like a vegetable side or maybe a lean protein option that people can kind of pick on, or as an appetizer to start. That is a really good way to ensure you can get in your needs for the day there. The next one kind of just continues on mindfully eating. Like I said, slowing down the meal, putting your fork down between bites, really engaging in conversation, not making sure you're not putting more food in your mouth when there's food already in it. Just giving yourself a second to digest. Because again, we're so excited. We're with the people we love. I love sharing food with the people I love. And it just really brings a sense of loyalty and connection with the people that are important to you. So just take all that in so that you can also help slow your rate of food down. If you're anything like me, I'm like a super fast eater, and I have to consciously be aware to slow the F down, right? So this can help you with that as well. And then for those that do wish to have alcohol on this day, that is absolutely your choice, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do like to recommend like something like a 2-drink max, or, you know, making sure you consume like 6 to 8 ounces of water before and after each beverage can just help offset those uncomfortable, undesirable feelings the next day. We all know what that feels like, I'm sure, of dehydration and whatnot. So just to make sure you can get back to your goals and the things, the fitness things that you want to do, and just go about the rest of your weekend feeling good, this can help with that too. And it's a great approach to having balance, where you like give yourself the permission to do the thing, but you don't overdo it. So that is really what we're looking for here in general. So I will also, to kind of conclude on some of this stuff, I just want to send some friendly reminders. Number one, there is like around something like 11 federal holidays of the year. And if it's a really good time on those days to take a purposeful break in MyFitnessPal or whatever macro tracking app that you use. Not to say that if you decide to track throughout that that's bad by any means, but if you're someone that has a logging streak of 365, you should probably take a break. Remember that those apps are tools and not crutches. You want to make sure that you can still hear when you're hungry and know when you want to eat and know how to eat without you only relying on that. So I kind of like to use holidays as an excuse in that way, but it also doesn't mean we just like throw out everything we've been practicing or doing, right? I think it's a really good time to do like a pop quiz on yourself of like, can I make sure I have enough protein on my plate when I don't have my scale? Can I still make high quality food choices because I know it makes me feel good? Or am I leaning on things that don't make me feel good because I've restricted them for so long, right? Like this is just a good time to take that break, you know? So I think that's something to consider. Also, if you weren't, this is a very, very helpful tip that has helped me a ton too, but if you find yourself debating on having a specific item on the holiday, whether it's like, a lot of times for people, it's like a slice of pie or a cookie or something like that. If you are having that horrible mental battle in your head, and if you've had it before, you know exactly what I'm talking about, if you should eat something or not, just know the stress that you're putting on yourself and that mental battle that you're having is actually more harmful on your body than if you had just had the thing. So that's definitely something to think about and remember. And last but not least, your goals are your goals. So whatever you decide to do, I want you to do it wholeheartedly and unapologetically. Whatever that means, you know, it's all about prioritizing what's most important to you, and what it might mean right now might be different 5 Thanksgivings from now, and it probably should be or whatever, and that's a really cool thing too. So just assess what's most important to you right now and how can you execute that on your holiday next week. I'm super pumped to be approaching the holidays and the whole holiday season. I hope you guys are too. They can be super tough to navigate, especially with like colder weather and being inside more and not having as much sun exposure. So if you guys need any help at all, have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out either in the Facebook group, my email, and or on Instagram. I'm pretty good about checking everything regularly, and I want to help you as best as I can. So reminder, there won't be one of these next week because I'm going to be enjoying Thanksgiving, and I hope you all are too. And if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out, okay? I'll talk to you soon and see you guys the following Thursday. Thanks so much.